Hey there, so today, I want to talk about something I really struggled with when learning English, describing someone's personality in a way that actually sounds natural. I never realized how bad I was at it, until one day, my boss asked me to describe a colleague's work ethic. I thought for a second and said, "She's hardworking." That was it. My boss just nodded, clearly expecting more. And my colleague, she didn't look too pleased either. The same thing happened in casual conversations. A friend once asked me, "What's your roommate like?" And all I said was, "Oh, she's nice." My friend just stared at me like, "That's it." And I felt stuck. That's when I realized, I had no idea how to describe people properly. I wasn't saying anything wrong, but I also wasn't saying enough. I needed to learn how to go beyond simple adjectives and actually make my descriptions meaningful. So, I started paying attention to how native speakers describe people, and I realized that it's not just about using adjectives, it's about making the description feel real. Here's what I learned. One of the first mistakes I made was using basic adjectives like nice, good, bad, hardworking, funny. These words don't really tell you much about a person. So, I started replacing them with more specific adjectives. Instead of saying, "She's nice," I started saying, "She's warm and welcoming." Instead of, "He's funny," I'd say, "He's got a really sharp sense of humor." Instead of, "She's hardworking," I'd say, "She's incredibly dedicated to her work." That small change made a big difference because now my descriptions actually meant something. For example, if I were talking about a friend, I could say, "She's super friendly and makes new people feel comfortable right away." If I were describing a colleague, I'd say, "She's highly approachable and easy to collaborate with." If I wanted to describe someone at work, I wouldn't just say, "He's good at his job." I'd say, "He's extremely detail-oriented and double-checks everything." If someone is always willing to take initiative, I wouldn't just say, "He works hard." I'd say, "He's proactive. He doesn't wait to be told what to do. He just gets things done." But I also learned that using an adjective alone isn't enough. You have to show how the person behaves. Let's say I'm talking about my best friend. If I just said, "She's nice," it wouldn't give much information. Instead, I'd say, "She's the type of person who always remembers small details, like your favorite snack or how your meeting went." That gives a clear picture of her personality. If I'm talking about a colleague, I wouldn't just say, "He's hardworking." Instead, I'd say, "He's the kind of person who always stays late to make sure every detail is perfect." The way you describe someone also changes depending on who you're talking to. If I were talking about a friend in a casual setting, I'd say, "She's super chill, always going with the flow." But if I were describing the same person to a professor or boss, I'd say, "She's highly adaptable and works well in any situation." It's the same personality trait, but the words sound more professional in a work setting. Before describing someone, I always ask myself, who am I talking to? I also learned that people aren't perfect, and if you only describe the good traits, it feels unnatural. Instead of just saying, he's really ambitious, I could say, he's incredibly ambitious. He sets big goals and works hard to achieve them. But sometimes, he can get a little impatient if things don't go his way. Adding that second part makes the description feel more real. If someone is focused, I could say, she's super focused, which is great, but sometimes she overthinks small details. If someone is confident, I could say, he's incredibly confident, though at times, he comes off a little strong. If someone is independent, I could say, she's super independent, but that also means she hates asking for help. Balancing strengths and weaknesses makes descriptions more natural and believable. Now, instead of just saying, she's nice, I'd describe her like this: she's super friendly, she's the kind of person who makes you feel like you've known her forever. She remembers little things about people, like your favorite coffee order, and she always checks in if you're having a bad day. If I were talking about her in a professional setting, I'd say, she's highly approachable. People feel comfortable coming to her for advice because she listens carefully and always finds solutions. She's also incredibly dedicated to her work and will stay late if it means delivering the best results. And if I wanted to give a more balanced description, I'd say, she's incredibly dedicated to her work and always meets deadlines, but sometimes she gets so focused that she forgets to take breaks. She's also highly approachable, making people feel comfortable around her, but at times, she finds it hard to say no, even when she's already busy. That sounds much richer and more engaging than just saying, she's nice, or, she's hardworking. So, here's what I've learned: use stronger adjectives instead of vague words like nice or good. Give real examples to show how the person behaves, not just what they are. Match your words to the situation. Use casual words for friends and professional words for work. Balance strengths and weaknesses, because people aren't perfect. And most importantly, practice until it feels natural. Once I started doing this, my descriptions became much clearer and more engaging. And trust me, the more you practice, the easier it gets. Next time someone asks you to describe a person, try using these steps, and you'll see the difference. But wait, there's more. As I started describing people more naturally, I noticed something interesting. My niece, who's always dropping new terms, said something like this the other day: "Oh, she's definitely goated, like, she's literally the greatest of all time when it comes to making everyone feel at ease." And I thought, hold up, that's actually a vibe. That's when I realized, describing people Gen Z style is a whole new level. Till now, I was describing people the old-fashioned way. So, at first, I was a little skeptical. I mean, how could saying someone was goated make them sound any better than just saying they're amazing? But then, the more I used it, the more I realized it totally changed how people saw that person. Instead of saying, she's really good at calming people down, I started saying, she's goated at it. Literally, no one makes people feel more comfortable than her. And it sounded better. Like, it made her skill feel legendary. I started paying attention to how my friends described people, And I realized that these Gen Z terms weren't just cool to say, they really captured a person's vibe. So I decided to dive deeper into this new way of describing people. Now, this one was a game changer, Riz. I had heard it a few times before, but I never really understood it until I started using it. Riz is short for charisma, and when someone's a Riz master, it means they have this super smooth, charming ability to connect with people. Like, you know those people who just walk into a room, and everyone's instantly drawn to them. Yeah, they're Riz masters. So, here's how I started using it. He's the Riz master. Seriously, he can talk to anyone and make them feel like they've known him forever. Or, she's the Riz master of making everyone laugh, even when we're in the most awkward situations. And let me tell you, when I started using it, it didn't just sound cool, it really helped people get what I was saying. You could almost picture the person walking into the room, owning it with their smoothness and charm. It made describing them way more fun. Then, there's Loki. This is one I love because it's such a laid-back way to describe someone who's always calm and never stressed. Low-key people just go with the flow. They don't need attention, they don't make a scene, they're just chill. I started using it for those friends of mine who were always cool under pressure. She's so low-key, no matter how crazy things get, she's always calm and collected. Or, he's low-key about everything. He never lets the little stuff get to him. And using low-key felt so much more accurate than just saying, he's calm. It showed that they weren't just calm, they were like effortlessly chill, not making a big deal out of anything. But, let's be real, sometimes, people get a little salty. You know what I mean, right? When someone's just a bit bitter, upset, or irritated over something minor. That's when you bust out the salty. It's like a playful way to describe someone who's a little off, without it being super dramatic. I started using it in those situations when someone was just being petty or annoyed. He's salty about not getting the promotion, but it's not a big deal. He'll get over it in a day or two. Or, she's salty right now about the comments someone made. Just give her some space and she'll be fine. It's a great way to call someone out without making it too serious. They're annoyed, but it's not the end of the world. Just a little salty. So, after I started using these terms, my descriptions of people really started to change. It made everything sound way more interesting, more alive. It's like you're describing a person's true vibe, not just their basic qualities. So, next time you're describing someone, try throwing in a little goated, Rizmaster, or Loki. You'll be surprised at how much more engaging it makes your descriptions. And trust me, the more you practice, the easier it gets. And, let me know in the comments, what's one personality trait you'd use to describe yourself, and which Gen Z term would you throw in there? Let's practice and have some fun with this. That's it for today. Let me know, what's one personality trait you'd use to describe yourself? Let's practice in the comments.